Only one of these planes is using a bomb sight. In this week's video, we are going to go over how to level bomb in a formation by bombing off a lead bomber. If this is your first time here, this channel focuses on multiplayer sim gameplay, so if you're into that, please subscribe. So first things first, why would you do this and not have everyone use their own bomb sight? The big advantage by having everyone bomb off a lead is that you increase the defensive capabilities of the formation. You are able to maintain a very tight formation because outside of the lead, the bombers are just focusing on keeping a formation. This allows for overlapping tail gun coverage. If the bombers were to bomb independently in a formation and to use their bomb sights, you increase the chance of planes bumping into each other or drifting and reducing the tail gun coverage. Lastly, the last big advantage of this is that you can increase the size of your formation by using this method. New players that don't know how to use bomb sights can get bombs on target now because they just drop when the lead drops. Now to do this, it's fairly simple. You need to have a competent bomber in the lead, and his responsibility is to get his bombs on target on behalf of the formation. In the example that you saw in the intro, you can see here where I decided to drop. This allowed for a fairly decent coverage of the depot site. The lead should be mindful of his position in the formation, generally in the front and in the middle, so he should drop a tad late and in the dead center so the bombers hit around him. The lead should also make sure that his engine settings are pulled back. Typically I fly with the throttle 10% under the maximum speed. This allows the other bombers enough extra engine headroom to use to catch up and not to blow up their engines. The spacing of the formation is not too hard. It kind of looks like this, and if you do this, you're going to be fine. One quick note on the formation. I mentioned earlier the final turn should be done 30 to 50 kilometers before the target. This allows for enough time for the formation to be totally locked in by the time they drop. If you're not locked in within 5 to 10 kilometers to target, then you may need to do another pass. This only works if people are in a closed formation. The two other tips that I have is, one comes from FlyUs, which is to use a 3-second bomb timer. This lets you see where your bombs are hitting, so you get an idea of where everyone's hitting before the explosions happen. This should make your bombing more accurate over time as you review your footage. And the last big tip I want to give is, don't forget that once you drop your bombs and have flown all the way to target, you're much lighter, so you can climb. And in this example, you see that after we dropped, we actually climbed up to 8K. And look at how far behind the interceptors are. They were expecting us to be much lower and to maintain our altitude, but we climbed up, and no one flies at 8K. So we flew for nearly 60 kilometers before they got up to our altitude, and by that point, we were able to just dive away and get to our airfield. I hope you guys find this video helpful. This is fairly simple, but something that anyone can do. I never really did this before up until maybe a month ago, and I see like the use of it, and it's a good introductory way for new bombers to get involved. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing, and have a good one. Thank you.